Well, hello and welcome to this segment of Sister to Sister here on Real Life. And we are 5 opinionated, lively women. We're going to live it up here today because wait till you hear this question. And this is a real question because this really happens. All right. Should parents be fined if their children are obese? Holy smokes. Corey, didn't this happen somewhere? No. Okay, I made that up. I made that part up.
I think Japan was considering a law, I think.
No, absolutely not. This is crazy and insane.
Yes.
No, they should not. There's genetic problems. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. There's genetic dispositions to children being overweight or underweight, for that matter. So you absolutely should not be fined. And parents need to be taught how to, feed their children healthy. And a child should never be talked to about being skinny or fat. It should always be about eating healthy. It's so damaging to a child. I cannot even tell you how damaging it is to talk to a child about being skinny or fat, or to talk to them about in a way that talks about weight in any way. Kids need to be talked about health and health alone. There's so many stories about adults that if they were talked to as children about their weight and skinny and fat and how damaging it has been to them. So this would set off so much damage. I can't even, and just government involvement in any way, to me, with this is just crazy talk.
And Corey, along with genetics, there's medications. I think sometimes medications cause weight gain. There's metabolism, there's different metabolism, there's hormones involved. But you're absolutely right. There are adults that are suffering today from bulimia, anorexia, cutting themselves because of people call them, oh, that little fat girl that sat, and horrible things that their parents said. But I have an underweight child. And I, as a mother, I think about him eating and his food all the time. So to assume that a parent is negligent in any way when their child is overweight or underweight is ignorant. You don't even know anything that's going on. And so we just need to keep our mouth shut and celebrate and encourage and lift up kids instead of tearing them down.
But what about, I've seen other television shows where the parents are actually shamed because their children are overweight, because the parents are the ones that are loading the cabinets with
junk.
Things that are junk. So what about that, Roxy?
Wow, to find a parent is a difficult thing. Who defines obese? What is it? What's the negligence of the parent? There's so many things involved. We try to legislate good behavior and it's very difficult. But I will have to say this, and because someone gave me permission to say it. I asked someone who was overweight as a child, and I said, would you want to have your parents fined? And the young woman that's now in her 21 was little, was little and chubby through. She said, oh, yes, they shouldn't have allowed me to do the things I did or ate the things I did. And so they can't express the torment that they feel when they're different from everybody else when they're little. And I just realized there's a torment that a child goes through if they're too thin or too, I had a roommate too, was thin all the way up to college, God bless her, but she was tormented by it, drinking milkshakes and everything. So I think we really have to understand there's a torment that a child goes through when they're different. And if we address health, if we address the mind, if we address the soul, and help that child not realizing that they're going through it because they can't express their emotions, maybe we'll be a little better society.
Did she blame her parents?
Well, she thought they should be fined.
Wow. Wow. Flo, what do you think?
I think everybody expressed so well the different aspects of it. I guess for me, I'm thinking, the awesome responsibility of God entrusting a life to us. And the word says that children are as mighty arrows in our hands. And as I've said several times before, I think it's imperative that as a parent, I need spiritual archery lessons because I need to be able to discern when Is it the way I'm stocking the shelves? Does that have to do with the child's obesity? Is it a hormone issue? Do they play sports and now they're on steroids because they had an injury and that's doing, and even in that, whether it's my fault or not, I hate to use the term fault, but for lack of a better way of putting it, just to make my point, the responsibility is me parenting and shaping that child to be a productive member of society. So whether it's because of how I stock the shelves or because they are getting steroids, what is my child feeling? Am I tuned into that? Am I discerning that? And am I healthily addressing that?
Right. And I can say the last thing on this is, if you're going to address this with your children, you must do it when they're young, because if you start to do it when they're a little bit older, then it's really attacking them and it's not a good idea. So train them when they're young.
You cannot address their weight, though.
Well,
You
no.
cannot.
They're stocking the shelves thing.
Okay,
Stock
okay.
your shelves, stock your shelves. Okay, we'll see you all next time, because we are the sisters and we come to you here on Real Life.